Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How are you?
Look at you all like cheery and yellow.
So it's dreary here and I'm gonna go walking after this. And um this is one of those safety yellow. My husband's
Mm-hmm.
like a construction roofer, trucker dude, and so I'm supposed to wear this anytime it is not super sunny outside when I walk. So strict orders.
That's so
So
that's so funny. I have a like light rain jacket windbreaker type deal that is like safety orange with reflective strips. Leave
mm-hmm.
it to us to have
Ah,
like complimentary
right?
jackets for safety.
Course. What else would you expect, right? I will tell you though, I for a long time I thought it was, maybe a little bit of overkill. And by the way, I'm trying to figure out my winter lighting. So bear with me the next few weeks as I work on that. It's not great. So um, but when was it? Saturday or Sunday, I was walking and I was on a dirt road. And I remember thinking, this is why I have this jacket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. So it was nice. So it was nice.
Yeah.
So everybody had a good weekend. We're back to get our week kicked off in a positive mindset. I'm looking for my notes. What are we talking about today? Good morning. Drop in chat where you're at and where you're joining us from. And let us know if you had a good weekend and are you ready to get this week started right? So let us know.
Whoop whoop.
This week, I know, right? Woo! Okay, so happy Monday. Welcome to Mindset Monday, where independent advocates, patient advocates like us come together to kickstart our week with positivity and inspiration. My name is Nicole Broadhurst, and I'm here with my co host, Kayla Thompson-Riviere. And we have a really powerful quote on intentionality. Kayla, do you want to tell us what it is?
Yes. So our quote today comes to us probably from Confucius. I'll be honest, I had a hard time like finding an actual source, but we're gonna go with that. But it is, we have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one.
I love this. So last week we talked about the power of self-awareness. Our quote was from Debbie Ford, if I remember correctly. And we talked about how self awareness helps us remove judgment and see ourselves clearly, both as individuals and as advocates. And so, this honest reflection allows us to recalibrate and improve how we serve others and making decisions based on what is truly important without the noise of right and wrong. But this week, we're going to build on that self awareness by focusing on intentionality, right? So, this quote really is kind of to me is about recognizing that once we become aware that we really do only have one life, right? That this life is finite, then that's when we kind of begin living with real purpose and
Mhm.
prioritizing what really matters to us as individuals. Um, so yeah, I think that this mindset shift can be really powerful. I know it has been in my
Mhm.
life, right?
Yeah. So
That moment.
this quote came up and got brought into Mindset Monday as a thanks to my husband. Shout out to Nick. We were driving, going to I think our friend's baby shower, and he was just kind of randomly like talking about like it was something he stumbled upon like on a TikTok or something, and I was like, oh, and I grabbed my phone and I did the talk to text to like make a note. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, this has to go on Mindset Monday because I love it so much. And we, so what comes to mind for me with this is I know I grew up and was like in this coming of age during the time when like YOLO was real big. And for those who are unfamiliar, YOLO is an acronym and it stands for you only live once. However, the way that tends to get used is as like a justification for overindulging in various things, mostly drugs, alcohol, sex, and partying. So, not really with the intention that I feel like it should have. And actually, it's kind of like the opposite of what I feel like YOLO should be about, what it could be about, and what this quote from Confucius is about. And as I move through my life, you come in contact with so many people, and just being kind of an outside observer on others' lives, I found that a lot of people seem to be living without intention and direction. They're just kind of going through the motions of day to day, like, gotta get up, gotta go to work, gotta come home, feed the dog, go to bed, maybe watch TV first and drink alcohol, and then like do it all again, and like live for the weekends when you like drink more, I guess. I don't know. It's like, but I see this cycle like through so many people. And I've also been around so many people um, near and around their time of death. And um, another thing that kind of pairs along with this quote for me is when I was very young, like 2021 maybe, I read this article. A journalist interviewed somewhere like 90 or so people who were like over the age of 80, and asking them about their regrets in life. And almost across the board, people said what they regretted was the things that they didn't do. Not the mistakes, not the failures, not the risks that, didn't go the way they wanted to. Like, people by and large don't regret those things. They regret the things that they did not do, the things that they procrastinated on, the things they put on the back burner, or they later, oh, I'll do that later. And that to me is what this quote today ties into. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. We only get to do this once. Every single, and we only get to do this once, and you don't even know for how long. Like, you woke up this morning and you're listening to this. This is a gift. Today is a gift. You may not have tomorrow. Stop. I know I'm going on a rant here. We've done another Mindset Monday on this quote. I think we attributed it to me because I couldn't find it online, but I have another phrase that I say, that later is a lie we tell ourselves. Stop your life. There is no later. It's a myth. All there is now.
That's right.
And that's what this brings up for me.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. I just realized, hey Kayla, I'm going to let everybody know. I just realized that the link was wrong on inside of the community platform. So I just sent out a new link.
Oh, no.
So if anybody's having trouble getting onto the live, that's what that was. So I just kind of wanted to take a moment. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So drop in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. So sorry about that issue. But that's the first thing I put on my list of things to make sure we talk about today, Kayla, is that, procrastination, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it when. Oh, that really is. I'm going to tell a story about my grandma. I was super close to my maternal grandmother. I mean, like, my cousin and I, we hung out with my grandmother like besties. We had a ball. My younger cousin got married in Chicago. Yeah, there we go. We got some more coming on live. Yeah, hey guys, so sorry about the link. Talking about my grandmother. So my baby cousin got married in Chicago a few years before my grandmother passed away. And my cousin and I and my sister, we took my grandmother to the wedding for the weekend. It was my grandmother's first time in Chicago. I think she was 87 or 88 at the time.
Ew.
She'd never been to Chicago. Had this great weekend. And I remember after that weekend thinking, you know what? I could let her go now. Like, that's how powerful that weekend was. And every visit, every conversation, everything that we had from there forward, I felt like was just bonus material and time that I got with her. And I always made sure that she was my priority at that point in time, because I knew we were running out of time. So what I wanted to share about this, oh, I can do that tomorrow, I can do it tomorrow. Be careful what you put in that bucket, right? Because I am so grateful today. My grandmother's gone. She's been gone probably about 6 years now. And all the time, through Facebook memories and all of these things, that there will be things that come up that I posted where I says, the laundry didn't get done, the dog didn't get bathed, my lawn didn't get mowed, but I spent the most beautiful day with my grandmother. We even had a chocolate fudge sundae for dessert. And every time those memories come up, I remember how hard it was in that time to say, I'm going to go spend the day with my grandmother, even though I need to do laundry and I need to do dishes and I need to mow the lawn and I need to do all of these things. I put those things in the tomorrow bucket, because if tomorrow doesn't come and those things didn't get done, I would be okay because I spent the day with my grandma. I use that as a reference point almost every day because, guys, we are prioritizing things all the time, whether we're recognizing it, whether we're doing it with intentionality or we're not. We're doing it all the time. So all of those things that we're putting in that tomorrow bucket that may never come, make sure that you're okay if those things never get done. Right? Because it's really easy to put something in the tomorrow bucket that really doesn't belong there. So anyway, that's kind of, that was, and I got to go on a little bit of a rant there too, Kayla. Hey.
It's a ranty Monday.
Right. It is a ranty Monday because the things that are important, it's so, and it's tragic, right? I think back and I think if I had put the dog first and the laundry and all of the functionality things first, I would have missed out on all of those fun things with my grandmother. And maybe, I have to say, I've lost a lot of people, but she's the first person that I've lost that when the memories come, there are zero regrets. Zero. There is absolutely zero regrets because I think that it's this reason. And I think it's because I didn't ever put her in the tomorrow bucket. And so every time her name comes up, every time I remember her, all I think about is all those great things and the feel good stuff, not the, oh, I wish I had put her over my laundry. Right? Yeah. Kind of cool. So, yeah. So it's the same kind of thing with prioritizing clients and what that looks like with work, right? This is really important to talk about, not just our personal stuff, but then how do we apply this in our daily advocacy work?
Yeah. Well, it's,
any thoughts on that?
Striking the balance all over. And I think so for anybody listening who's like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I should be spending more time with my grandmother, or whoever that person is for you. Well, then there's also the practical side of life. We can't just throw work and house chores out the window, never do any of it, and only do the fun stuff. Yes. Obviously, that's not sustainable. So it's okay, well, then where is the balance? Well, that balance is obviously different for everybody. And I encourage you, if this is something maybe you haven't really thought about before, or even if it's just been a little bit since you've sat to work on what this work-life balance looks like for you, you got to start by first making the list of priorities for the people in your life who you want to make sure that you're spending quality time, investing quality time with, for your work goals, and whether that be what you're doing for work, how you're advancing your business. Maybe you're kind of dipping your toe into the space of advocacy here and trying to figure out what the next steps are. Start putting some concrete actions deadlines and intention around that, so you can start to work it into the list of prioritization. And then like all of the regular boring routine life maintenance stuff, like it needs a place. But certainly one of the things that's been life changing for me is I found that the more those routine, like keeping the house running items, the more structure that I've been able to put around those, the less time they actually take up in my life moving through the day. Before I put structure around them, and it was just like once or twice a week, I was like, oh man, the house is trash. Like, I've got to clean the house today. Like, that's not a sentence that comes out of my mouth anymore. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this 20 minutes to tidy everything up. And then, like, that's that. Because I've kind of not only put structure around it to make my time doing it more efficient, but then also broken some mindset things that I had to work on to let some of that stuff go. I was raised in a house. It was really my mom's doing, and my dad would kind of poke fun at her for it sometimes. But we would joke that like the house needed, like, always looked like, whoa, is the Pope coming? Or like, are they gonna do a photo shoot for good housekeeping? Like, that's the way the house needed to be all the time. And believe me, I like a clean and tidy house too, but I also see the value in spending time with my children. So that gets prioritized above the house ready for a photo shoot, because we live there. We live there with a 4-year-old and a baby. Like, even if it's all the way clean, it ain't staying that way. So I'm not driving myself crazy about it. I make sure, I joke, my house is always clean. It's just not all at the same time.
Yeah.
This day the laundry gets caught up, and this day the floors get mopped. Like that kind of, things get picked up, but it's kind of just shifting and reprioritizing.
Right. I love this because our pillar for today is really about intentionality and prioritizing. Right. And I think that this quote hits both of those. Right. Because, and the intentionality part is for me, because I'm thinking about, well, sure, all of the things have to get done at some point, like, right? So, and that's where the intentionality comes in, right? So for me, and if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I'm going to encourage you to read it. Habit stacking has been game changing for me in my life. Kayla was talking about, some of these functionality things. So when I make coffee in the morning, as the coffee is brewing, there's two things that I do while the coffee is brewing and I'm waiting on my hot Joe. I am washing dishes and I am straightening the living room. And that's just what I do while the coffee's brewing, right? Because it gets everything kind of back in that place where I think of it like this, Kayla. If somebody were to stop by, I wouldn't be humiliated. Right. I just need the house to be presentable, right? I just need that if somebody knocked on the door unexpectedly, I could open it without, feeling completely embarrassed, right? Right. So while I'm making my coffee, I'm doing the dishes, I'm, straightening the living room up so that it's presentable. And that's it. That's it, right? Like that's good enough for the morning, and that's all I need to do. Right.
That's
so
good
that's the
enough.
intentional part.
And that's where what finding a balance is really about. And it also comes back to that idea of like the 80-20 rule, where across the board for a majority of things in our life, we spend 20% of the time getting 80% of the results. And then the other 80% of the time that we spend on something only produces 20% of the results. So it's that kind of finding the balance. Like ideally, you want to stop when you've done the smallest amount of time with the biggest return on investment and get comfortable with what is good enough. Because striving for perfection in every aspect of life is just unrealistic.
It is completely unrealistic. I'm going to open the blind, see if that helps a little bit on this lighting situation. I have no idea. Oh, I guess it did a little bit. Yes, and you're right. And just what I can do in 5 or 10 minutes is enough, because then it allows me to move into. So that's the intentionality stuff. when you think about, planning your week, planning your day, like the intentionality is to get the functional stuff plugged in with the minimal amount of time, so that it allows you the majority of your time to work on other things, client work, marketing, networking, like all of the things that are going to give you more return in your business and in the side of that. So for your clients as well, right? Like where I love this. So prioritizing and intentionality. It takes both, right? To be intentional with the things that have to be done, that frees up enough time to do the things that your soul and your heart need to prioritize, is kind of what I'm
Exactly. So that
hearing,
you can
right?
take things out of that later bucket and put them in the shuffle for where they belong now, for the things in your life now that are priorities. Because, oh my God, how easy is it to just, oh, I want to do that someday. And like literally, it's your next birthday, and you're like, absolutely nothing has
I
gotten
didn't
done.
get
Like, yeah,
right.
because and that's because like it's a dream and a vision, but there was never any intention. And without intention, like if you don't run your life will run you.
Sister, say it again. Say that again. That
If
should be a
you
quote
don't
in and of
run
itself.
your life will run you. I know today we're like spouting off like 10 quotes all in like the
Yeah,
one thing,
I
but
know,
it's
right?
just, ugh.
This is an important one, though. Intentionality and prioritization, especially when we think about it as it relates to the finite resource of our life. This is one of those things inside the circle. We talk about the pillar of have, which is all about effective resource management. And time is part of that, right? And we
Mhm.
only have this one life. And I love what you shared earlier. At the end of my life, am I going to be am I going to be upset because I did something? Maybe, but like you said, statistics show that people who are nearing the end of their life, they regret the things they didn't do, right? The things that they didn't
Mhm.
prioritize, the things that they didn't intentionally set themselves up to do and to complete and to experience. Actually, what it really gets to, it's the experience, right? It's
Right,
not
which
the thing.
translates into like a life well lived. So and I think honestly, that's why I'm like really passionate about this topic, because it's really easy, if you have a big lofty goal, like let's bring it back to this advocacy practice. I had an experience that I think probably most people can relate to in this world of advocacy. When I first learned about independent patient advocacy, for those who don't know my background as an RN, I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing. That's a job made for me." And then I found out it wasn't a job, that you have to start your own business to do this, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to put a pin in that because I know nothing about that." And not only do I not have a degree or any background of any kind at all in business, I have, well, at the time, my son was what, it was 2 years ago, so 2.5. And we don't send him to daycare. We don't have a babysitter. We don't have family involved. My husband and I just swap back and forth. So we take turns being a nurse and being the stay-at-home parent. It's a lot. And that in of itself could have been every reason why I didn't pursue starting my business with
Mm,
advocacy. And for a couple months I
yeah.
didn't, until I had my own personal experience that really thrust it into my face that I needed to do this. And I'll be honest, I had a few people, even within the advocacy community, that at first, when they met me, I'm so young and, I have this baby. And for those who don't know, 6 weeks after I launched my business, then I got pregnant. So I've been building my business through pregnancy, which was complicated with illness, and then a newborn. Now my baby's almost 7 months old. So there's plenty of reasons I could have chosen for why I couldn't do this right now. It's just not a good time. And I am so grateful that I didn't listen to the naysayers and I didn't give in to all of those easy reasons why I can't, because they're not reasons why I can't, because guess what, guys, I'm out here freaking doing it. Like they were
You're doing
challenges and things that, you know, the logistics, like to look at my calendar, it's mind boggling. It probably only makes sense to me, but all that to say, it's just forced me to put a lot of intention around my time, because my time is fully accounted for. And on the surface, that can sound really overwhelming or stressful. Like I work so hard for this business and for my babies, and I was kind of afraid, like, oh, I don't want to push myself to burnout. You know, like I had that awareness on the forefront of my brain. But really, what I've found, and it's been the past like 3 months where I've been like full time in the business with my baby, and I'm breastfeeding, so like I'm pumping. It's like all the things, right? And what I've really found is like in the last couple of months here, I'm like, this is what life is about. Like, this is what life is for. My days are so full and they are so planned out. And it's not overwhelming. It's amazing. I am living life to the fullest, truly. Like, when I sit down and I look at what I got done in a week, what I got done in a month, I am just so proud of myself, but also just so full of gratitude that like I have all of this amazing stuff around me, because I didn't give into all of the reasons why it's not a good time. I didn't put my dreams and aspirations on this later bucket. Well, I did. Well, it didn't stay there very long. I didn't lean into all of the reasons for procrastination, the excuses, whatever. Like I just freaking grabbed what I wanted and have been figuring it out. And I want everybody to be able to experience this, because this is the gift that life is.
Kayla, welcome to my world. For the last 3 years, when I started the circle, this is what I was saying. I was saying exactly what you are saying right now, Kayla. Oh my God, when we get this, when we find our stride, when we when we couple intentionality with prioritization, and we do it in alignment with our soul, it is unbelievable the life that we can have. And that's going to look different for everyone, right? Because I don't have babies at home. Kayla's got babies. Kayla's got, like, everybody's different. So it's going to look a little bit different. But this is why we do the Mindset Monday, y'all. Because if you can practice these things and implement just a little bit of this stuff into your day-to-day life and be focused on your goals and live with intentionality and prioritize to what feels right with you, you will find what Kayla is talking about. And this is why I created this circle, so that we can encourage each other to keep on the path to finding this, because it is amazing stuff. Because remember, not only are we making strides in our business, right? But we are also improving our relationships with the people we love. We are spending time in important places, doing important things as human beings, and at the same time that we're doing all of that, we're also helping patients and families navigate this crazy healthcare system that we have, which is absolutely priceless work we're doing. So to be able to do all of that in this one life that we get, it is, talk about overwhelming gratitude, right? To wake up and to be able to do these amazing things and help amazing people, and at the same time live in complete harmony with your soul and the people that you love. Like, that's a mic drop moment.
It's pure freaking magic, honestly.
It is. It is. It is. And so it's really like I get goosebumps hearing you talk about it, because I've like been watching that is exactly how I feel every day. And again, we want all of us to feel this way because it's possible. It's possible. It's possible to do the work that you love the people that are important, and live the life that you dream of living. That the world loves to tell us, oh no, you can't do that. That's not
And
possible.
I just want to
That's
be
too
clear for
much.
a moment. It's not that it's not hard. My life is really hard. My life is really hard.
Yes.
And it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Because I just,
Yes.
for a moment there, I think that's another like
Yes.
thing that gets thrown out like in the ether in our culture. Like,
It's not
oh, things should just be
easy.
easy breezy, like you're sitting on
Mm,
a beach. Well, I mean, that's nice
mm-mm.
sometimes. And also, guess what? When you
Right.
work this freaking hard and you are putting in
Right.
the effort 29 days out of the month, then that one day that you take off, you actually really enjoy that
That's right.
because it is
That's right.
earned respite.
I love that. I love that because you're right. It's not nobody. We were look. This whole we've been on here for 32 minutes. No, we didn't say easy. I don't think the word easy ever came from our mouths this morning.
No,
What came from
no.
our mouths is amazing, overwhelming, loving, gratitude, all of the benefits, right? Because here's the kicker, right? Is that prioritization and living with intentionality reaps great rewards, but it also requires great diligence and dedication and commitment. And those are other pillars and things that we talk about in other Mondays, right? But today we're talking about intentionality and prioritization. And so what we're trying to say is this hard work of being intentional and being really strict with our priorities, no is okay, right? Because we only have a finite time. And oh my gosh, there's so much more to talk about. But being intentional and prioritizing, as we keep this quote in mind, we have two lives. And the second begins when we realize we only have one. Intentional and be intentional with your time and prioritize your tasks, right? Be careful. Don't put the wrong things in tomorrow's bucket and they never get done. So I
Mhm,
think those
mhm.
are the big messages. And this week, I'd love to hear one area of your advocacy work or your personal life where you can, maybe live with a little bit more intentionality. What is it? What is it that you can do to create a little bit more intentionality? I'll be really honest. My weekdays, Monday through Friday, are very intentional. I work really hard Monday through Friday so that my Saturdays and Sundays can be less intense. I mean, less structured, right? And more about the relationships in my life. But that's just how I do it. So I'd be interested to hear, where in your life are you looking at adding a little bit more structure and intentionality? Um, you can share it in the comments below the video this week. I would love it. Kayla, what do you think?
And my challenge to you this week is, as I mentioned earlier, I really encourage you, if you haven't done it before, or if it's been a couple of months, or there's been some sort of a major life change, sit down and like really like with the old fashioned pen and paper, make a list of the things, the people and things that are should be the priorities in your life, and then start to literally schedule them. I mean, that's what I do. Like that, and it's again, it's a thing. Like that's where the word intention, it does get used a lot, but like that's how you make it actionable. Like put this stuff on a calendar. If you're like, oh, I love my best friend and want to spend more time with them, and then you're like, oh wait, I haven't actually like had one-on-one time with them in 6 months. Great, pick up the phone and call them and get that scheduled, and then decide how often you want to see that person. And
Yes.
before that meeting is over, schedule the next one. Because if you just wait for the time for things to be right, it's just not happening. You gotta make it happen. And that's what this quote is about me. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. For me, that signifies a like, oh shit, I need to take ownership and control of what I am doing and what's happening in my life so that I can fully live it. Because if you just
Right.
drift along, you're going to go where the tide
Right?
goes, and that
Things
makes
get
probably not
absolutely.
exactly where you want.
Exactly. I love it. Well, you guys, that is a wrap for today's Mindset Monday. We are super grateful for you and this community of independent patient advocates. We hope that today's quote on intentionality empowers you in your work and your personal life this week. Be sure to share how you're applying it in your advocacy practice, and we'll see you next Monday for more inspiration as we talk about communication. See you later, guys.